Good day and welcome to your favorite sport program on TV, 360 Sport. I am Mudashiru Shitu, and today, very obvious that the whole world is in one particular concentration, talking about the Paris 2024 Olympics ongoing. There have been several stories coming from the Team Nigeria and other interesting stories across many countries are involved in Paris 2024 Olympics. So your guess is as good as mine. So we'll be looking today at Nigeria, Team Nigeria. So far, so good for the past few days that the Olympics have started. So we'll be looking at what has been going on in Team Nigeria involvement at the Paris 2024 Olympic. We didn't start on a very good note. There are issues as regards to the boxing issue, that one of our boxer was found with a bad substance, and many other issues. But I think it's going on well right now at the Paris 2024 Olympic concerning Nigeria. But I won't be talking this alone. I have a very special guest. He is the CEO of Bold Sports. He's a man that has done so well for himself when it comes to sport journalism, sports reporting in Nigeria. Talking about Tosin Olulawa. It's good to have you, Tosin.
Good day. It's good to be here to discuss sports once again. Thank you very much.
Yeah, and then we'll definitely go straight to business because a lot of people out there are expecting what's going on in Team Nigeria. We didn't start well, but can you summarize the highlights of our participation?
Okay, so like you mentioned, we all know, Nigeria went to the Olympics with about 84 or thereabout athletes going to the Olympics. And the football event started, the Super Falcons started the Olympics. They lost their games. They played against Brazil, lost against Spain, lost. And then after that, we went to the table tennis event. 4 of our table tennis players, Haruna Kodri, Omotayo Olajide, Edem Ofiong, and Fatima Bello also lost out. And then on and on like that until came the Tigress. That was the beginning of good things for Nigeria's participation at the Olympics when, against all odds, they defeated third-ranked country in the world. And if you remember, going to the Olympics, out of the 12 teams that were participating in the basketball events, Nigeria were already ranked 12th, the last, so there were really no expectations of the Tigress. But lo and behold, they defeated Australia in their first game. They lost against host France in the second game, and then they defeated Canada to qualify for the quarterfinals, becoming the first either male or female team in Africa to make it to the quarterfinals of the Olympic Games. And then we we had others in swimming. I believe two athletes in swimming also didn't do too well. And you had earlier mentioned boxing. Just before the start of the boxing competition, Cynthia Ogunsemilore was professionally suspended and of course disqualified for the Olympics after testing positive to a banned substance. The other boxer, Adams Olaore, lost his bout, and so we continue like that until you of course know that athletics brought the largest contingent to the Olympics. We had 35 delegates to the Olympics, so we started on a good note with our track and field events. We started women 100 meters after the controversy that surrounded the removal of Favour Ofili from the starting lineup. We continued with Rosemary Chukwuma and Tima God Bless, who both qualified for the semi-final of the 100 meters. And then in the men's 100 meters, Koyinsola Ajayi qualified for the semi-final of the men 100 meters. And then we moved on like that until in the throws, for the first time in the Olympic era, to Nigeria 3 participants in the women discus events of the Olympics, Choma Yekwere, Anumba, and Obiageri. 3 of them didn't qualify for the final, but at least it was good that we had 3 participants, maximum number of entries for the first time in that race, in that event. And of course, in the men's shot put event, Chukwuebuka Enekwechi qualified for the final, his second final, and he also qualified for the Tokyo Olympics final. And then Favour Ofili came again in the 200 meters after putting aside the controversies of the 100 meters. And like we all know, she's already in the final of the 200 meters, which is going to take place later today. In the wrestling event, 68 kg women's wrestling event, Blessing Oborodudu also qualified for the semi-final. He's going to also take part in our bronze medal bouts much later in the day. And then for the first time in the Olympics too, we had 3 competitors in the women's long jump event. 3 of them are already through to the final event. That's Esebrume. If you recall, Esebrume won bronze medal at the last Olympics. Esebrume is through to the final of the long jump event. Ruth Usoro is also through to the final of the long jump event. And Preston Ochonogo is also through to the final of the long jump event. In the men's 200 meters, after not qualifying in the heat, Udodi Onwuzurike to the repechage has already also qualified for the semi-final event of the men's 200 meters. And Eli Enojoku has also qualified through the repechage for the semi-final of the women's 400 meter of the Olympic Games. So
thank you for that analysis and summary of what's going on right now. But the fact still remains that if this continues, we'll probably not get a medal from the antecedent or near misses. Though we have Chubibuka, he came 5th in the short put.
Yeah, he came 5th.
Yeah, and we also have near misses. You know, table tennis was nothing to write home about. Can you say that we should expect, and which of the remaining we should expect a medal?
I believe based on antecedents and based on our personality and based on our record, Blessing Oborodudu should be able to bring home a bronze medal in the women's wrestling event. And of course, having 3 out of 12 in the women's long jump event should give us a little hope of at least a medal in that event. Right now, one of the major people that you would think will be dragging medals with maybe say Esebrume is Ivana Spanovic, formerly Ivana Vuleta of Serbia. She didn't qualify for the final. So you see, maybe we are looking at the American Davis Woods, and then the defending champion Malaika Miyambo of Germany. So with all of this, I think Esebrume, after, you know, if you saw the qualification event, she had jumped 6.44 meters in the first one. She jumped 6.40 in the first one. But the last one, she came with 6.86 meters to automatically qualify for the. I believe that she will be able to build on that and give us something better to medal at the the long jump event. Of course, you know that Favour Ofili her specialty is in the 200 meters. And if you recall, one of the favorites for medaling, for gold medal at the Olympics 200 meters is world champion Cherika Jackson of Jamaica has pulled out of the event already. So you would see that only we have, say, Gabby Thomas and 2019 world champion Dean Asha Smith. And Favour Ofili had already defeated Asha Smith at the heat event. We also have 100 meter Olympic champion Julian Alfred of St. Louis is there already. Somebody Favour Ofili knows very, very well. They grew through the school ranks together. So I just believe Favour Ofili should be able to give us one color of a medal at the Olympics, at the 200 meters. Of course, you know that Tobi Amusan is starting our event tomorrow. Tobi Amusan is starting tomorrow. We still have Odun Ayoade Kuroye here to also feature in the wrestling event. So we should be able to get 1 or 2, at least. I think we should be targeting, say, 3 medals at the Olympics. And all of our relay teams, apart from the mixed relay, are still yet to compete. And you know, in the relay, anything can happen. Most of the times, it's not about how fast you are; it's how fast you can move the baton around you.
Yeah, well said. Do we conclude or summarize that this is happening because of how competitive the Olympic is, or we should say this is happening as a result of lack of preparation, or is happening because of how competitive that even the best are always even beaten? Or is it has to do with preparation factor? What do you think is the reason why we are not getting those medals?
I think it has to be both. Because if you talk about how competitive it is, that's how you pick the best. you throw up all of the good ones into the basket, and the torso and the best comes out at the end of it. So that's, for example, that's what played out in the men's final of the 100 meters. You saw that it was very competitive, but eventually the best came out. So I think it's one, how competitive our sport is getting to be. But of course, our preparation level is also low. You see that we say it all the time that it's oversaid in Nigeria that we love the far brigade approach of doing things. We wait until the last minute before we start getting things in place. So because it's obvious now from the things that all of these athletes have been putting in, that the talent, it's not that they don't have the talent. So it means that if you push them a little more, you see them do the very best.
Okay, and that also shows that he's always on the side of the government for not giving the best when it comes to.
Of course, you will have to, whether you like it or not, at this point in time, you have to push all of the buck on our administrators. Administrative lapses here and there, places that you think that they should have chiseled the edges very well to get a good material out. You see them not doing things well enough. You see our administrators just getting very much interested in being at the games rather than having our athletes do all of this. And so I think if our athletes are doing the best they can do, these athletes are giving the best they can give. If we can just push them very much more by giving them the right support, you see them shine like a million stars.
Let's look at the Ofili saga. What can you tell us about the Ofili saga and all that?
So, like we all know, it's in the news already. Favour Ofili broke it herself. I think it was Wednesday last week or so, if I'm not mistaken, when she went to all of her social media platforms to inform the world that she had not been registered for the 100-meter event of the Olympic Games. And for me, it was a shattering news, and it was something that could bring an athlete down.
Definitely.
If you even cast your mind back to what happened at Tokyo Olympic Games in 2021, when 10 of our athletes who are duly qualified for the Olympic Games, due to no fault of theirs, could not compete at the Olympic Games. Now you see that one of them, Annette Echinwoke, who was American-based, who had just naturalized to become a Nigerian, immediately went back to the US after that. And you'll see that she even won the US trials, and she's at the Olympics representing the US now because of that. So you see, put in mind that many of these athletes had gone through this same bad phase in just 3 years ago. And then due to no fault of yours, you are doing your best to qualify for the Olympics, and then you suddenly want to compete, and you see again, after you qualified for the Olympics in 2021, they didn't allow you to compete due to no fault of yours. Again in 2024, something like that is happening due to no fault of yours. You see that any athlete will be down facing that kind of issue.
So now we've not really found out who is to be blamed for this. So what do you think will be the outcome at the end of, because the sport minister also spoke that who is to be blamed should be fished out. Do you think there will be a light at the tunnel at the end of this, on this particular issue?
For Nigeria that I know, I don't believe anything will come out of it. I believe it's mere talk and not doing. When what happened in 2021 happened, then Sport Minister Sunday Dare also issued similar threats, saying that people who were responsible were going to be fished out and they were going to be punished for doing it. It's 3 years down the line. Nobody has told us categorically what happened, and all of this, nobody was punished for it. I think once we just come back from Paris, everything will be swept under the carpet and life will just move on the Nigerian way. Like they say in Nigeria, the next trending thing will happen and we'll forget about it.
Very interesting to say. But we also know that this can make her change her mind. I mean, switching over switching over nationality. This is not the first time we've seen the likes of Gloria Anozie, Francis Obekweli in the past. Gloria left Nigeria to represent Spain, and she did so well. Also, Francis Obekweli also did the same thing. Are you going to advise Favour Ofili to change nationality? And just of recent time, we also spoke about the shots put, I think, amateur lady that just changed, switched from America to
Annette Echinwoke.
She just did that. So, do you advise her to follow that route?
As a patriotic Nigerian, I would say that she should continue to, as a patriotic Nigeria, I would say that she should continue to endure and do all of those things. But if you want to speak about it from the business side of it or from the professional side of it, everybody will want to go to where they think is the best for them. So I think the decision is for her to make. If she sees any country that will take care of her very well, so I think she knows what to do on that already, and she will take the best decision she feels is best for her career.
And before we go on this quick break, I want to ask you one more question. Do you think, it's difficult to say, but do you think we can supersede the two medals we had in the last Olympics?
And like I mentioned earlier, I think it's a possibility, because I'd tried to item. So last Olympics, we won a silver. Blessing Oborojude won a silver medal for us in the 68 kg women's wrestling event. We know she can't win that silver medal again because she didn't qualify for the final. And of course, Ese Brome won a bronze medal for us in the long jump event. Ese Brome is still in the run to win at least that bronze medal or something better. So if you drop Ese Brome down there, you know that Tobi Amusan was 4th at the last Olympics. And between then and now, Tobi Amusan has won the World Championship. She's won the Diamond League final twice. She's broke the world record. So you know that Tobi Amusan, any day, any time, is a medal prospect. If you also remember the last Olympics, one of the medal prospects we were looking at was Odunwayo Adekuroye. But unfortunately, she dropped out. Maybe we don't know what happened in the qualifying stage. So we still have Odunwayo Adekuroye down there. And then the favor of Philly is in the mix. So I believe that we can get to the level we got the last Olympics and at least a little bit also do better than that.
Yes, thank you very much, Tosin. We'll go on this quick break. We'll be talking about the other segment of the program, but still focus on the Olympics. And thank you for watching. If you want to be part of this program, you can join us on all our social media platforms. You can drop your message and tell us what you want us, questions, and also what you intend to hear, and what is your own understanding or objectivity about the program and what is going on in Paris 2024. Don't go away, it's still 360 Sports. Yeah, welcome back. It's still 360 Sports. I'm sure a lot of our viewers are really engrossed with the conversation going on in the studio, where we have a very respectable journalist who has done so well for himself, talking about Tosin Oluwalowo, still with us in the studio. Tosin, so a few days left for the end of the Olympics. What makes other team what has been the highlight for you? I mean, apart from winning, there have been side stories. We've seen different things happening. We've seen that this is the first time that the Olympic is having the match pass, sort of, not in the stadium for somewhere else.
Yeah.
What has been the highlight for the Olympics for you?
So if I talk about the highlights of the Olympics, I think it's just like I had mentioned earlier, is the level of competition that you now have at all of these events. So to say, I don't know if I can say it that way, but before now, for the last 3 Olympics, so I'll use the track and field as an example.
That's the first point.
Yes, in the last 3 Olympics, for example, before 2020 Olympics, 2020 was peculiar because it was the COVID Olympics. The Jamaicans were dominating. Usain Bolt was dominating the men's 100 meters. And you always see him gap others very well. In the women's 100 meters, it was Ellen Thompson-Era who did a double-double the previous 2 Olympics, and before Shelley-Ann Fraser-Pryce also did that. But going to these Olympics, you really couldn't have been able to pick who you think will win. For example, if they had told anybody before the start of the Olympics, women 100 meters, that Shericka Jackson will win, Shelley-Ann Fraser-Pryce will win, Sha'Carri Richardson won't win, that none of these 3 will win the gold medal at the Olympics. You would never have them. And if somebody had even told you that it's only one of them that will medal at the Olympics, you wouldn't have believed.
Definitely.
But you saw Julian Alfred win the women's 100 meters, and then we saw Melissa Jefferson come 3rd in the women 100, although it was because Sherika Jackson and Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce had pulled out of, but at least you saw some form of competition. Then going to the men's 100 meters, if you had seen the picture of the photo finish of the men's 100 meters final, it was like almost all of the 8 athletes were on the line. The distance between the first and the last was 0.20 seconds. They said that that's the shortest distance between the first and the last in any global final in the men's 100 meters. So it meant the last was 9.91 seconds. And it was also the first time in the history of the Olympics that a sub-10 time would not be qualify you for the final. So it showed you how competitive it was. Nobody knew who was going to get anything. Even when you saw the men 100 meters final, even though the mouth that Noah Lyles had made, I'm going to win. When they crossed the line, he didn't know he had won. He was telling the Jamaican guy that, I think you crossed the line first and all of this. So it showed you that a different level of competition going on. It just showed that a lot of these our athletes came prepared and they are giving us their A game at the Olympics. So for me, that's maybe one of my biggest points at the Olympic Games.
Yes, and I also want that the names are not to me now. I will forget the list of those names. We've had like the shot put guy from America, Cross. The pole guy,
Duplantis, Mondo Duplantis, who broke a world record for the night time.
We also have some people, athletes. The past 3 Olympics have always won gold.
Yeah,
and that comes to my nation. That what do they do different? I mean, that means the last 3 Olympics that won winning gold, not even a silver medal. Are they putting anything extraordinary than that?
It has to be. So what you will call the extraordinary is just a bigger level of participation, bigger level of support. They receive support on a bigger scale. They receive they prepare on a much more big. They prepare more than others, get supported more than others, and have greater belief than others. So those are the things that make a top athlete. You might be the best, and if you don't have the belief that you are the best, you won't achieve it. But for some of these people, the first is the belief. If you remember, the season Tobi Amusan broke the world record. She had written somewhere just before the final that she was going to do something great, and it happened. Yeah. She wrote on Sean Miller Weibo's something. She wrote, I can't remember the exact word, but it was something that I can't remember that she said she was going to break the world record or something.
That's Tobi, right?
Yes, Tobi Amusan.
Yeah, we also that she was going to.
So that is one of the things athletes work on: self-belief. Once you have the passion, you have the zeal is there, you have the ability, you have the support, and then you also have the self-beliefs. All of these things put together is what you see make the best of the best athletes.
Still on Tobi, the 100 meters hurdles is very competitive too.
Yes.
Chiamaka Queen. We also have Tobi in the mix. What do you expect from Tobi? I actually wrote some few days ago that, not a few days ago, 4 months ago, that Tobi will win the 100 meters. And it's something I just felt, it has to be this time. I didn't just say win the 100 meters. I said with gold medal, not just be on the podium. I hope that's also part of the self-belief too. But what's your opinion on the 100 meters hurdles? So
I believe after 2 near success experiences, if you remember the 2019 World Championship, Tobi Amusan came 4th, close to a medal position, podium finish. And then the same thing happened at the Olympics. So we had already known, at the 2020 Olympics, we already knew Jasmine Camacho Queen was going to come up with her A game. We knew that then world record holder Kendra Harrison was going to come up with her A game. But we had expected that Tobi will join the mix. But suddenly we saw a Megan Tapper come from nowhere to win the bronze medal, and then Tobi Amusan placing 4th again, the second near success experience. So I believe that after that near success experience, a new Tobi Amusan emerged.
Okay.
A new Tobi Amusan who believed that having been competing with these people through college, beating them, they've been beating her, they are no different from her. And that was what you saw her do at the 2022 World Championship when she ran 12.12 seconds. I think she ran 12.40 in the heats. She ran 12.12 seconds. The semi-final to break the world record. And then she ran a wind-aided 12.06 seconds at the final to win the final. So from that you saw that it was a new Toby, and then before that just after that you saw her that she won the Diamond League final in 2022. She won it in 2023. So I believe that right now, forgetting the time, so while forgetting about all this personal season's best and all of those things, the gold medal for the 100-meter hurdles of the Olympics is between Jasmine Kamachoku and Toby Amusan. Knowing that some of these big athletes like Kendra Racing, Nia Ali, who are experienced and can
So
win.
if these two people wins it before we round up for the show, that means there's no surprise.
There's no surprise if any of them win. It will be Jasmine Kamachoku defending her title, and will be a world record holder Toby Amusan winning the Olympic Games.
Yes, thank you very much, Tosin, for being part of today's program. We hope to call you same time when the Olympic is almost on the end of it. We hope to tell us your whole assessment of the Olympics. Thank you very much.
Thank you. It's my pleasure being here. It's so great discussing sports over and over again.
That's Tosin Olulowo. He's the CEO of Bold Sports. He has done so well for himself when it comes to athletics and sport in the country. If you go search for him, you definitely know that he has so much rich experience in talking sport. That's why he's the right person for today's show. Thank you very much. I remain Mudashiru Shitu. Same time next week, we'll be giving you all what you need to know in the world of sport. Enjoy the Olympic spirit.